Hello everyone. So today we are going to start our new topic, that is ratio and proportion. So before starting further, let's take a quick recap of what we have in the definitions for ratio and proportions. So whenever we are talking about ratio is simply a comparison of two quantities. So a ratio, to be more precise in definition form, a ratio is a quotient of two quantities, and the ratio of A to B is written as A to B. You can also say A is to B, or simple A over B. When ratios are used to compare numbers that have units of measure, the units need to be the same for both numbers. When the ratio is known, you do not necessarily need to know the actual amounts of the quantities compared. So now, moving further, what a proportion is. So whenever we are comparing two ratios, and if they are equal to each other, then we say that the two ratios are in proportion. Let's say if A over B and C over D are the two ratios which we are comparing, and if they are equals to each other, then we say that these two ratios are in proportions. So let's not waste much time over here in learning the definitions and all. Let's quickly move on to uh, questions. Now the first question is state the ratios requested, the ratio of a nickel to a quarter. So first of all, you already know what a nickel is. So one nickel equals to 5 cents and one quarter equals to 25 cents. So these all are uh, coins for US dollars. So 100 cents become $1. So one nickel equals to 5 cents and one quarter equals to 25 cents. So now in order to compare these two quantities, you have to simply plug 5 over 25. So this becomes 1 over 5. So either you write 1 over 5 or 1 is to 5 will be our final answer. Now the second one, the ratio of 3 hours to a day. So you already know there are 24 hours in a day. So you can directly write 3 over 24 equals to 1 over 8, or 1 is to 8 is our final ratio. For the third part, the ratio of boys to students in a class of 40 students with 22 girls. So first of all, if they're asking you the number of uh, the ratio of boys, so first of all you need to find the number of boys. So in order to find the number of boys, you need to simply subtract the total students with the number of girls. So this becomes 40 minus 22, that is 18. So this 18 is a total number of boys that are there in that class. So now we need to find the ratio of boys to the student in class. So simple, 18 is the number of boys and 40 is the total number of students. So you can even simplify this further. So this becomes 9 over 20. So we cannot simplify this further. So our final ratio will become 9 is to 20. Similarly, the D part, the ratio of the short part to the long part of a 10-foot board when the shorter of the two part is 4 feet. So in this question, they are asking you the ratio of short part to the long part of a 10-foot board. The value given is the total value is given and the shorter value is given. But you need to find the ratio of short part to the long part. So first of all, you need to find the value of the long part. So in order to find the long part value, you need to simply subtract 10 minus the shorter part, that is 4, equals to 6. Now the longer part is 6 and the shorter part is 4. Now we need to simply find the ratio between these two quantities. So if we plug the values, 4 over 6, so this becomes 2 over 3. So our final ratio becomes 2 is to 3. So these questions were really very easy. Now let's move on to question number 2. In the question number 2, the ratio of two numbers is 3 is to 4. Their sum is given as 63. Find the two numbers. So whenever in any question the ratio element is given and the total value is given, you must be able to find the part value. So only two types of question arises in this arrangement. Either they will give you the part value or they will ask you to find the value of the uh, total one, and even they can give you the total value or they must ask you to find the value of any one of the part or either the both parts. So now in this question, the total value, the sum is given, and also the ratio is given. So the very first step in order to solve these type of questions is you need to simply add the two ratios values. So if you will add 3 plus 4, it will give you 7. So this 7 is comparatively equal to the total value, that is 63, in terms of the total ratio. So now we can write the two ratio values as 3 over 7 and 4 over 7. So now we always try to multiply these fractional values by the total value. So 3 by 7 into 63 and 4 by 7 into 63 upon multiplication will give the two part values which we are asked to find. So if you simplify this, the two values will be simply 27 over 36. So you should remember, whenever any total value is given, you need to multiply that value with the fractional part. It will give us the part value. And if the part value is given, you need to take the total value as x and then proceed. So the form of equation will be like this. According to the question, whatever is given in that particular question, you need to find the answer. Question 3. Divide 600 into 2 is to 3. So it's again very easy. Similar type of question. Again, the total value is given. You need to divide it into ratio 2 is to 3. So again, the very first step, you need to add the two ratio elements, that is 2 plus 3, which is equals to 5. Change this value into fractional parts. So 2 over 5 and 3 over 5. Again, we need to multiply this with the total value, that is 600. And this will give us our answer as 240 and 360 respectively. So if we want to divide 600 into 2 is to 3, then the two values that we get are 240 and 360. So let's move on to the next question. The next question is, the number of boys and girls in a classroom is 6 is to 7. If the number of boys is 42, find the total students in the class. So now, first of all, you need to identify whether the total value is given or the part value is given. So in this particular question, they are asking you the total students. So the part value is given. So again, you will start your solution with the first step, that is adding the two ratios. So 6 plus 7, that is equals to 30. So the fractional value for boys will be 6 over 13. So in this question, basically the number of boys is given. So the fractional value of boys is 6 over 13. We already know that we need to multiply this with the total value, which is unknown here. Take it as x. And the answer for this is coming out to be 42 because the number of boys is given. We can simplify this thing and you will get your answer as 91. So in this particular question, they can even ask you find the number of girls. So in order to find the number of girls, you need to simply subtract the total value 91 with 42. You will get your answer as 49 for the number of girls. Now we have some types of ratios. Let's say the given ratio is given as A is to B. So for the first type, duplicate ratio. Whenever duplicate ratio is there, for the given ratio A is to B, the duplicate ratio will be simply you have to square off all the individual values that are there in the ratio. So the answer for this will be simply A square is to B square. The second type of ratio is triplicate ratio. So simply you need to take cube of all individual values. So the triplicate ratio of A is to B becomes A cube is to B cube. The third type of ratio is subduplicate ratio. So in subduplicate ratio, you need to take the square root of all the individual values. So this will become root A is to root B. For the fourth one, subtriplicate. So in this question, you need to take the cube root of all individual values. So this becomes cube root of A is to cube root of B. The last one is inverse ratio. So inverse is basically reciprocal. So if the initial ratio is given as A is to B, so the inverse ratio of A is to B will be simply 1 over A is to 1 over B. So you need to remember these terms so that you can apply the definition here or the concept in the questions in order to find the answer. Now the next concept is, let's say if two quantities are given and they are related to each other as some ratio. Let's say if A is to B is equals to M is to N and B is to C is given as P is to Q. So A and B are related to each other in ratio as M is to N and B and C are related to each other in ratio P is to Q. Now you need to find the combined ratio of A is to B is to C. So for that, simply you have to remember the pattern, which is nothing but simply you have to multiply this M value with P and P value with N and N value with Q. You need to multiply all these terms one at a time with the other values. So our final answer will be in the form of Mn, Np and Pq. So you only need to remember here this pattern, the inverted N. So if you remember this, you can easily solve any of the questions related to this concept. So many of the students try to attempt these type of questions by taking the p value common and they try to uh, change them in a single form. So in spite of doing that thing, it is easier to use this method because the chances of committing mistakes is very less here, and this method is very easy. So now let's do example 1 here. So P is to Q is given as 8 is to 15 and Q is to R is given as 5 is to 8. We need to find the value of P is to Q is to R. So P is to Q is given as 8 is to 15 and Q is to R is given as 5 is to 8. Now we need to find the value of P is to Q is to R. So for that, you need to multiply 8 with 5, 5 with 15, and 15 by 8. So our ratio becomes 40 is to 75 is to 120. So now we can also simplify this relation. The final ratio will be upon simplification. If your answer can be further simplified to simpler terms, then you need to do that. So for this particular question, if we want to simplify, it will becomes 8 is to 15 is to 24. So this is the final answer. 8 is to 15 is to 24. Let's try the another question. Example 2. Example 2 is simply saying A is to B is equals to 3 is to 4 and B is to C is equals to 8 is to 9. Now we need to find the ratio of A is to B is to C. So A is to B is to C will be simply 3 into 8, 8 into 4 and 4 into 9. So this will become 24 is to 32 is to 36. So we can simplify this further as 6 is to 8 is to 9. So the final answer will be 6 is to 8 is to 9. Now one question is given as A over 2 equals to B over 3 equals to C over 5. And now from this relation, we need to find the combined ratio of A is to B is to C. So for this particular questions, I have seen many times that students try to take the first two ratios together and the last two ratios together, and then they try to equate these things and then try to find the value of A is to B is to C. So let me give you an easier way to solve this. Whenever this type of question arises, you need to simply find the individual values of A, B, and C respectively, and then you can directly plug in the values here and you will get the answer. But first of all, you need to take these three values equals to X. So if you take these three values equals to X, so the first one, A over 2 will be equals to X. So from this, the value of A will be 2x. Similarly, B over 3 you will take as x. So B will be 3x and C will be 5x. So now as you can clearly see that the A, B and C values are here, you can directly plug in there 2x is to 3x is to 5x. So now we can eliminate this x term because they are in ratio, so automatically they will cancel out each other. So our final answer is simply 2 is to 3 is to 5. In one more way, we can directly predict our answer for this particular question, and that is whenever you can see that the coefficient of A, B, and C in this particular question is 1. So whenever the coefficient of the variable in the numerator is 1 or unity, you can directly plug these denominator values as your answer. So from this method also, our answer is coming to be 2 is to 3 is to 5. Provided that, always remember, you're going to use the trick only when the coefficient of the variable in the numerator is 1. Okay, similar type of question. Now in this question, the relation is given in product form. So again, we will apply the same method by equating these relation equals to x. So 3a equals to x. So the value of a will be x by 3. Similarly, you can find the value of b as x by 4 and c will be x by 5. Now plugging these values in the a is to b is to c, you will get 1 is to 3, 1 over 3 is to 1 over 4 is to 1 over 5. Now you can uh, simplify this ratio by just taking the LCM. So you can take the LCM of 3, 4 and 5, it will become 60. So you need to multiply this ratio value to all these fractions in order to change it in whole numbers. It will be very easier for you, and it is advised to change your answer in whole numbers or simpler terms. So the LCM is 60. So 1 over 3 into 60 is to 1 over 4 into 60 is to 1 over 5 into 60. So if you simplify this further, our answer is coming out to be 20 is to 15 is to 12. So this method is quite easy and nothing confusing is there. So instead of just taking two relations together and the last two ratios together and compare them, so the chances of committing mistakes in those steps and applying that logical method is not good. So you can use this method and you can directly get your answer. So now the next concept is, uh, this question is basically, you can treat it as a proportion question, or directly you can take it as a ratio one. So now 4 values are there and they are in ratio. 2 is to x is to 3 is to 4 is given, and you need to find the value of x. X is unknown here. So you can directly solve it as, we can add this thing as 2 over x equals to 3 over 4. So upon cross multiplication, you will get the value of x equals to 8 by 3. But we have one more method in order to solve these type of questions, that is known as the extremes and means method. So here, let's say A, B, C, D are the values given. So the BC is known as the means, the middle values are known as the means, and AD are known as extremes. So we always equate these two values together. So the product of extremes is always equals to the product of means. So our final equations becomes AD equals to BC. So you need to remember that, and if you follow this method, there are less chances of committing mistakes. So also you can use this method and check whether your answer is coming out to be 8 over 3 or not. Yeah, it is coming as 8 over 3 upon using this method also. So now what does this ABCD values represent? So as the position of A here is 1, so we call it as the first proportional. Similarly, the BCD values are second proportional, third proportional, and fourth proportional respectively. So now in the question, they might ask you, find the second proportional, third proportional, fourth proportional, like that. Just like in the following question, find fourth proportional to 5, 8, and 15. So for that, they're simply trying to ask you the fourth value, the fourth part, or the fourth element of the fraction or the proportion. So simply they're asking about D. So if you write this thing as 5 is to 8 is to 15 is to D. So now apply the extremes and mean method. So this becomes 5D equals to 8 into 15. So if you further simplify this, the value of D will be equals to 24. You can also take it as X or any other variable you want. So this method is quite handy and easy. Now let's do these questions. So the ratio of length and width of a rectangular garden is given as 6:7 and the perimeter is 78. You need to find the area. So for this particular question, neither the total value is given nor the part value. So only the perimeter is given. So we can take this length and breadth or length and width thing as 6x and 7x. So now 6x and 7x are the length and width respectively. So perimeter is given. So you already know the formula for perimeter is 2L plus B. Now we are going to plug in the value that are given in the question. So 78 equals to 2 times 6x plus 7x. So upon simplification, the value of x coming out from this equation is 3. So when x equals to 3, our value for length will be equals to 6x it is given. So 6 into 3 that is 18 and width is given as 7x. So 7 into 3 that is 21. Now we have to find the area. So area is nothing but L into B. So that is 18 into 21. So I think the final answer that you are getting is 378. So area is 378. The other question, the ratio of boys and girls in a classroom is given as 6:5. Now 8 boys joined and 2 girls leave the class. The ratio changes to 11:7. Find the number of boys now. So for this particular question, again, neither the part value nor the total value is given. So for that, you can simply take again the ratio element as 6x over 5x. So this is the ratio thing. Now, according to question, it is given that 8 boys join the class and 2 girls leave the class. So we can extend our this ratio thing as 8 boys joined, 6x plus 8, and 2 girls leave the class, so 5x minus 2. So this 6x represents the number of boys and 5x represents the number of girls initially. So now, when 8 boys join the class and 2 girls leave the class, the ratio changes to 11/7. So now, if you solve this thing, the value of x is coming out to be 6. So now you already know that the number of uh, number of boys was taken earlier as 6x. So the number of boys initially were 6 into 6 equals to 36, 6x. And now we can easily plug the value of x here. So 6 into 6, 36. But this is the value for the number of boys that were there initially. So you can simply add 8 in order to get the number of boys now. So simply 36 plus 8 that is equals to 44 boys is your answer. Next question, 5a plus 3b. over 2a minus 3b equals to 23 over 5. So now for this particular question, you can directly cross multiply and you will get your answer. So if we cross multiply everything here, let's say it is given 5a plus 3b over 5a plus 3b over 2a minus 3b, and it is equals to 23 over 5. So now if we cross multiply this, so the values will become 25a plus 15b equals to 46a minus 69b. So if you solve these things together, the final uh, ratio value that you must be getting is equals to a over b will be equals to 4 over 1. So our ratio will be 4 is to 1. So you can directly take 69 to the left hand side and take the 25 to the right hand side. So upon simplification, you will get the value such as a equals to 4b. So simply the ratio of a over b will be 4 is to 1. The next question, a over 3 equals to b over 8. And now they're asking you to find the ratio of a is to b. So for this particular question, we can arrange this thing further in the form of a over b. So simply we can write it as a over 3 equals to b over 8 is given. So we can change this thing into a over b equals to 3 over 8. So this is our final answer. Next question, 2x minus y equals to 3y. So it's again simple. So 2x minus y can be written as 2x minus 2y equals to 3y. So 2x equals to 5y. So from this, you can write x equals to 5 by 2y. So x is to y equals to 5 is to 2. So 5 is to 2 is our final answer. So next question, and that is our last question for today. And it is simply saying two numbers are respectively more than 20% and 50% more than a third number. So the ratio of the two numbers is, so two numbers are given and they are 20% and 50% more than a third number. So basically you can take the third number as x here. So the first number will be x plus 20% of x, so 0.2x, and the second number will be x plus 50%, so 0.5x. So now the two numbers are simply 1.2x and 1.5x. So now the two numbers are 1.2x and 1.5x. So the ratio of the two numbers will be simply, we can eliminate these x here. So if you solve this, the ratio will become 4/5. So 4:5 is our final answer. So these type of questions are generally asked from ratios and proportions part. So if you practice a lot more questions, then it will be easier for you to solve any question of this topic. So success lies in practice. So self-practice is very much needed in order to score good marks in any of your examination. So best of luck and have a nice day.